Alright, hey everyone, this is Javi again from Short Pro, and today I'm going to show you how I review my photos after a wedding I did recently. There you go. So, I was asked to do a wedding, and I did on Saturday evening. It was an outdoors wedding, and it was pretty cool. So, not going to go through all 272 photos I took, but through some. The good thing I did here was that I didn't leave a lot of headspace on the top. Well, a picture that was well taken, but he didn't have a suit coat on. If he had a suit coat on, it would have been a nicer shot. But it's still good for my first shot of the wedding. Next photo. I used a 20 to 70 lens. Let's see if it is at 2.8 aperture, and what I try to do at weddings is that I try to focus on the small details such as flowers and ribbons. Another photo. Let me do this. Okay. Like this nice bucket, shiny, and beautiful vivid colors and ribbon, stuff like that. Go back over. Well, we go to full screen mode. Alrighty, full screen. But let me see the next photo. This is where they drank the bride and groom I think it was tea out of, but before they filled it up, I wanted to run over there and take a shot because it's crystal clean, it's cool, something they'll remember. Then same thing with the Bible that they had at the table, something different. I also had the idea that I've seen in many photos and stuff of making a little heart out of the pages of the Bible. So that's exactly what I did. I grabbed a few pages from the right side and the left side, and I folded them over into the middle. Here is the photo. See, the thing is, to make beautiful wedding shots, you need to have an aperture lower than 5.6. Because if you don't, you're not going to get this beautiful blurry background and this neatly focused. Like, let's see. Scroll down. Okay, like this. This photo looks nice because at a 2.8 aperture, it narrows the depth of field and it brings more light to the camera, which makes better color and contrast. So, puts this in detail, which, as you see, they filled it up with ice, and now it looks pretty cool with the yellow and the burlap tablecloth, whatever this is, and it's pretty cool. But if you had a 5.6 aperture, this in the background would be more in focus, as well as this grass and the table in the background, which would be more of a distraction than main focus. Like this, this probably will not make the cut, but it's still pretty cool that at a 2.8 aperture, again, 400 ISO, it still made a cool depth of field shot. Alrighty, let's go. Like, you want to get the people signing their names as it is custom at weddings. There's a long line of people signing their name before they walk in, so they can notify the bride and groom that they were attending. So you want to get at least one or two people signing it, at least making it look like they enjoyed it or something. So that's what I did. I stood next to the table at at around waist height and pointed the camera up to get a cool different angle of the person signing the book. Alrighty, let's see. Here's my buddy trying to take a picture of me. Let me see, like this. Here's another lady trying to circle something. Now let me see. Here is the father taking the daughter down the aisle. The only thing I was kind of upset about it was that, aside the fact that it was only just me, I was trying to shoot video and photo, and note to myself, if I want to shoot video and photo, I want to know exactly what is happening and stuff, because I did not know they were gonna do certain stuff. So next time I would need a second person to help me shoot not video, just shoot photo of the father taking the daughter down the aisle to get an extra shot than this. Then it's not a good shot. This is that has his eyes open. Now as you see here, take her down the aisle. It doesn't leave room for anybody else. You can barely see her or the guy trying to take a shot. Everything brings into focus these two guys and this guy, because he's bigger than this guy. Like again, I said 2.8 aperture, it narrows it down. So let's go to our next photo. This is a good shot because once again, you wanna get a close of a shot as you can of the people. You don't want to leave room of, let's say there was a dog in the background, or there's this horrible table falling. You don't want that. Your job as a photographer, especially for weddings, is to make the wedding look awesome and make it look almost, in my opinion, to the point that you want to make people wish that they were there. So by doing it, you have to be a little bit more creative in angles and zooming in and stuff on photos. I thought this was cool because he was recording the wedding and he was broadcasting it on the internet for his family members to see out of state. I think he said there were around 40 to 50 people watching it on their laptops and phones and stuff. So it was pretty cool. He grabbed the tripod, he placed it on an iPhone thing, and just started shooting the whole thing. It was pretty cool. Now, you want to get a picture of them talking and laughing while they're still up there, and a picture of the groom talking and laughing. I like this shot because as they were just pronounced husband and wife, they kissed, and then as they were walking out, these two are happy that they got married, and you get to see this guy's expression that he's happy for these two people. So it makes the shot nicer when the foreground and the background, what the heck? When the foreground and the background are together telling a story. Now, let me see. Here they are congratulating each other and stuff. Come on. I'm going to be so happy once I get my 27-inch iMac in a couple weeks. But 13-inch MacBook is still good. Now let's get, okay. The truck was pretty close. But again, I'm stressing it again, with a lens that could bring the aperture lower than 5.6 can make a huge difference when isolating these two people out of the background. And if you know how to do things right too. Then, let me see. So this was on a table hanging. It says moi. And I thought, okay, this would make a cool photo. So nearby there were two trees that were, I'd say, 3.5 to 4 feet apart. So I found some pins and I pinned it on each side of the tree, and I had the bride and groom stand in the back and kiss. And what I did was, by narrowing the depth of field again of 2.8, as you see right here where my beach ball is pointing at, I was able to have these letters in focus and these out of focus, as this describing what is happening back here. So what you want to do in weddings also is you want to tell a story. Once again, the table, what I messed up on is that the cake should be in focus and not the not the plants. So I fixed it. One thing you shouldn't do is take 1,000 different pictures of the whole wedding and have over if you have over 500 photos in 2 hours, you took way too many photos, and it's kind of, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because if you charge a certain amount and you charge, let's say for 2 hours, and you take over 500 photos and half of them are copies, or you were making a movie, as in you just held the shutter button from start to finish, you're gonna delete a good chunk of it, and you're not gonna have the photos you want. So what you want to do is have in mind before you go to a wedding a decent idea of what you want to take. If it's the cake, if it's the bride and groom doing this or that, and you want to tell them ahead of time so they can make time, and so you won't have to take 1,000 shots and expect one to be great. So if you do that, you'll have a good shot. You may not have a great shot, but you're not going to have a bad shot by planning it out. So, well, you can't forget about the rings. So here's a good shot. Again, focus is on the rings and nothing else. Well, because there's nothing else to look at. And as the bride and groom were talking to, I think, each other's parents, they were holding hands. So I knelt and zoomed in and took a shot. The original shot is in color. So what I did is, aside from taking the picture out, the color out, I went to my curves tool and I did the whole thing as I usually do to bring out more of the darker and the whiter shades. And the boutonniere, had to take a shot of that. They're not a lot, but they're good. They're not blurry. They're not out of focus or overexposed or something like that. So they turned out very well. But I learned a couple of stuff for the next wedding I do. So this is Javi from Short Pro, and I will see you later. Bye.